Hello, hello. Give people a few minutes to come in. We're going to be doing a much more raw type of conversation and interview with Kasia. And we've had her on before, and we were specifically talking about Charlie Kirk and other things, which we'll talk about that as well. But this is more like a raw, unfiltered Kasia interview.
Hello.
Someone said sick boots. Kasia made that beat on her phone.
Oh, yes. I'm secretly a DJ. That's what I wanted to reveal today.
That's all this is about. This whole thing is just that she's a
Yes.
DJ and you can
Me
book
coming
her.
out as DJ.
And of course, you can follow Kasia at Daily Freddo on X, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll get started here in just 1 minute. And I set her up a little bit in that she can't really interact with you guys too much until we're done. So if you have any questions for her, if you want to do super chats or any of that kind of stuff, we'll do those at the end. And if any of the stuff that we go over during this interview triggers some questions you want to ask, that'd be a good place to do it. I can't guarantee we'll be able to go back through all the regular comments. And I'll do my little intro here. Tonight, we're joined by Kasia from Daily Freddo, a creator known for digging into the stories, controversies, and online conversations that people can't stop talking about. We're going to have a raw, unscripted conversation. Keep the chat respectful, bring your questions, and let's welcome Kasia to Off Script. Kasia, witam.
Dzień dobry, dzień dobry.
I don't know what you said.
I said hello in Polish and then in Greek.
I was going to ask if that was Greek. Okay. Now, for people that don't know, she's famous. She's like the #1 podcast in Cyprus. And there's a lot of things that I did not know about her. So, unless you've been following her very closely and knew her previously, you're probably going to learn a lot today. So this should be very interesting for many of you. And we'll start off with, let's talk about Poland. So what was your family like and how did that shape who you are today? Because I know you've been in Cyprus for quite a while, but what happened before Cyprus?
Okay, so we go way back. I was born in Poland. I'm from Silesia, actually, from south of Poland. We have a very specific dialect there as well. I come from family that is very supportive, very lovely, very tight. And because my mom and my dad, they both played musical instruments. My mom was a teacher, not music teacher, but she was very much into music. She sent me to a music school. So I actually graduated music school and I played violin, viola, piano. I used to play in the youth symphony orchestra as well in Poland. However, times when I was finishing school weren't that easy for my family. I don't come from a rich family. We had our better days, obviously, but at some point, Poland experienced extreme crisis. And there were days when, I was going to school and didn't even have a sandwich, it was tough. So when I finished school, I decided to move somewhere else and help out my family, find a job somewhere. There was a shortage of jobs when I finished school. So I had no skills. So my friend found this ad that they were looking for people for work in Cyprus. We said, why not to just fly there? One-way ticket, €6 in my pockets. Let's do this.
You flew for €6?
No, I had €6 on me.
Okay.
I actually took a loan for one-way ticket to fly there. Loads of trust and faith, seriously, loads. But everything turned out well because in a very short time, I met my now husband there who helped me a lot. He helped me bring my family to Cyprus as well after only a couple of months. And the rest is history. We've been here ever since, and we wouldn't change it for the world.
Are there any specific Polish traditions or values that clash with the Cypriot lifestyle?
Oh, yeah. Okay, just the mental. Okay. Polish people hate small talk. You just have to know it about us. We just hate small talk. Cypriot people love it. Yes, as the guy is there, like, how are you? And they can't just say hi. We just say hi. You see your friend, you're, oh, good, oh, good. Okay, that's it. But here you need to have 20-minute conversation every time you see someone that you know. And because it's a small island, you live in tiny villages, tiny cities, you after a few years, you know pretty much everyone. So you go to the store, you will have to have million of these chats, okay? I got used to it now. I love it. I find it endearing, but that's like one cultural clash that I noticed immediately when I moved here. They say that Polish people are generally cold in that sense. I told you this. Yeah, I learned as well to be a little bit more open and more, I would say friendly, but it's not. I was friendly. I just couldn't handle chit chat. Now it's better.
Yeah, I'm the same way. As soon as someone small chats, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, like if you don't have anything particular to say, like if you don't need my time, just don't take it from me.
Well, have you ever been to the U.S.? I know that obviously you have a U.S. audience, but have you ever actually been to the United States?
No, I was gonna go this year, but then like all the worst stuff happened. So it's like, do I go this year or I just wait it out and see what happens?
They're starting to check people on planes now for Ebola and all that. They're starting to do screening. Maybe
Oh
not the
yeah, I
best.
saw the article. Yeah, I saw you shared it on your socials. Yes. Well, it was to be expected, right? At some point.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I didn't know about you, I probably could have assumed this about you, is that you've modeled before. So can you tell us?
Uh, yes, a
Yeah.
little bit. I did. Yes, I worked in fashion for a few years, but it was because I could, not because I was like passionate about it and excited about it. It was like a chapter in between what I wanted to find actually. But thanks to this, I got into social media because I knew a lot about fashion designers and I could easily do social media for a fashion company. So that's how actually I started in marketing and social media. That was my like transition to it. And I was self-taught in it. I got a chance from one company, one brand that let me do their socials, and yeah, it was great. So my experience paid off. It literally helped everything that happened next.
So
Um,
well, and that was in London, right?
yes,
So as far as I know, that's like the highest of high fashion, right?
yeah, it was the fashion weeks and you know all the castings, everything pretty much. But I was much older. Girls start in modeling very young,
Yeah.
and they don't know what they're signing up for. I was much older. I was in my 20s and I was mature and I treated it more, yeah, like a transition. Like, okay, I can do it now because I can. It's a cool experience, but I could be selective with what I was doing. I was very smart about it as well. Um, I think it was a different experience for me than for other girls in the industry.
So moving from Poland with just €6 in your pocket and you moved to Cyprus.
Hmm.
So did you meet your husband, your now husband, and that's why you stayed? Or was there something else that actually made you stay initially?
Um, I would say it was my husband. He was a
Uh-oh.
very, very, very big factor of me staying, of course. And he introduced me to way of living here. Um, yeah, it was love. What's better reason? Um, but of course, I met his family as well. I got a job here. Then I brought my family, and I got to know the place and the traditions and the language. it became home. I've been here for over 20 years now.
So we had this little, I would say it was a conflict. Some people call it a war with Iran. And in
Hmm.
Cyprus, I saw all kinds of military planes flying over. I don't know if you guys actually had some drones and things that actually hit in your area.
There
But did you
was,
have,
yeah,
yeah. Did you have any personal experience with anything during the war during this time period?
yeah, there were stuff happening. So um, it was a night, um, a couple of days after the first attack started, and I saw on X actually that the drone hit the British base. We have British bases in Cyprus. So one of the British bases was hit with the drone. That was pretty scary. I live close to the airport as well, so I saw that they were bombing civilian airports in Dubai. So the whole thing it became a little bit scary for us here. And ever since we could actually, on my side of the island where I live, because it's so close to Beirut, when there were like really heavy bombings, we could actually hear the faint sounds of it as well here. And a lot of the times, even during filming, I think in a couple of videos, it was captured on my mic. We had like war jets flying over my
Oh,
head,
wow.
over my house. So the mic picked it up actually, and it's in the video. So we have to like wait for it to pass because it's so loud. I had no idea how loud those planes were. Actually, it's like the windows are shaking in my house when they're flying over. It's terrifying. But except those initial, I wouldn't even call it an attack because it was never proven that it was done on purpose. You know, let's say. Um, but it was calm ever since. There wasn't like there were sirens, there were evacuations. So my village actually was evacuated. I had to like sprint to get my kids from school. We had to pack up. We had to evacuate from the village because they detected drones flying towards the airport where I live. Um, but other than that, it's been weeks that it's been calm, except the planes like flying over.
Well, now we have some new explosions happening here and there. We had that big explosion that happened in Israel, and they
Yes.
said it was a controlled test, but other people
Hmm.
think differently. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to end up in something else, but I know that Trump changed the name of it so you can do another War Powers Act. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're good. I thought it was very strange that they were targeting Cyprus until I learned there was some bases there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
British bases, and for at the beginning we thought that those British bases will be used to launch the attacks on Iran, but then obviously they didn't agree to that, thankfully. So we stayed safer. I said that, I don't know if I said it to Lionel. I think so, but there was a big YouTuber that commented on one of my videos and was like, "Why you're so focused on American politics? Like, what do you even care? Like, first of all, like international affairs. Like, why wouldn't you care? No matter where you are." But also maybe like if I didn't have warplanes flying over my house, maybe I would be less interested. Obviously we will be interested. Whatever happens in America, it's going to affect us. So
Is this a big like Cyprus YouTuber or just a big YouTuber in general?
a big YouTuber general. I can
But we
send you a
won't.
screenshot later.
Okay, we won't name them. They won't be named here.
No, no, no. I'm not outing anybody. But it happens. I get comments like that once. Not so much now. I think year or two ago it was more. But now with war going on and all like more countries involved, I think a lot of people started realizing that there is a world outside of America existing because of this war. And they started expanding their horizons a little bit. So now they will venture to European YouTube channels and to get a little bit of insight of what's going on outside of the US. So that's cool.
When I've been surprised when I see some of the stats. I think a lot of my audience is from South Africa. I don't have a ton
Yeah.
in Europe, but I think it's great that you can like kind of cross that gap. You know, and the time
Hmm.
that you launch, you're hitting like midday where you're at, and then it goes into the morning of the U.S. So it's like the perfect arc.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I used to think that it was bad that I was on a different time zone, but it's kind
yeah.
of it gives me advantage. I'm in the future. I will not tell you what happens. Don't worry.
Well, it's like you know, whatever videos happen, maybe Candace or someone, and then you're able to create the video and put it out, and it's launched before anyone else even gets to start their video in the U.S. So you're always ahead
Yeah,
of it.
true.
It's kind of
True.
nice. So, how did you and your husband meet? Is there some kind of romantic story?
It was on my birthday. It's a very to us it's romantic, you know. I was out for my birthday with a friend that I flew in to Cyprus with, and I met him on the night out, and he saw me. He said, "From now, you're my girlfriend." And I said, "No," but he was right. Yeah, it
Pretty
was cute. We were very young. We were 18 years old,
wow.
and yeah, so it was very. It's not like now. It was really cute. We were, you know, going for walks, and it was nice. It's a nice love story that we have.
So, what age did you actually move to Cyprus?
Sorry,
What age did you move to Cyprus?
I was 18.
Also, same year. Okay, so you met him
Hmm.
right away.
I
Okay,
met him like 2 weeks later.
wow. And then you stayed for 20 years.
Faith. You know what's funny? I was in Poland and I was finishing school. I was I left the school. I was going to buy something in a shop, and there was this old woman that that told me that she can tell me her my future. I'm like, I was in a good mood. We were finishing school, you know. I'm like, yeah, sure. Tell me my future. She said, you will move abroad to a hot country and you will meet your husband. I'm like, yeah,
Interesting.
okay. Amazing story. I would love that to happen, but no way. Well, 2 months later, yeah.
Interesting. So, as far as the, I guess the culture there, is it like a lot of Catholic or is it Christian or what's the base in Cyprus?
Uh, in Cyprus, it's Christian Orthodox.
Christian Orthodox. Okay.
Hmm.
Is that the same as Russia? Isn't Russia
Yes,
Catholic or Christian Orthodox? Okay.
Orthodox. In Poland, it's Catholic. I'm Catholic.
Okay, so you raised Catholic. So
Hmm.
when Baron and Candace are talking about all this Catholic stuff, you know what they're talking about?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can relate. I can relate to both. Look, my children were christened in Orthodox Church. Obviously,
Yeah.
we live here, and there is okay. There are differences, but to me, you know, Christian faith is Christian faith, and I love their church traditions here. I love the Easter here. It's amazing. So we kind of like mix it up. The Christmas is very important to Catholics, obviously Easter as well. But the traditions during Christmas for Catholics, especially in my house, maybe it's my family only, but Christmas is the thing, okay? Nobody is leaving the country, nobody's traveling, nobody's allowed to get sick. Everyone meets at my mom's. That's it. And and here my mother-in-law organizes Easter, you know. So with kids we are with my in-laws for Easter and do all the Easter traditions, which are also beautiful here. We go to church at midnight. It's lovely.
It sounds like a good time. That's one
Hmm.
thing that's kind of getting destroyed nowadays is the family, the nuclear family, and
Yeah.
traditions. You know, they've fallen apart. That's for a whole different conversation. But uh, let's switch gears into Charlie Kirk. So you've done obviously a ton of deep dives, and you do it in a way that's very entertaining, like chocolate and other things, and you know the
Thanks.
Jamaica, and you know that stuff. You've kind of brought your own culture to it in a way. But as far as like you know, Erika Kirk, Turning Point USA, security failures, and all that stuff, what was the first thing that made you go all in on the story? Like, what was the red flag that made you jump in on this?
Okay, I remember that moment exactly. I wasn't going to cover Charlie Kirk. I When he died, I remember waking up at night. To me, it was night, and I saw notification from Candace from her Instagram. And if you remember, she posted a story. Everyone drop everything. Pray for Charlie Kirk. He was shot, and I couldn't believe it. Obviously, I was following Charlie. I don't know if you were a fan of Charlie before. We actually didn't speak about it, but I was. Maybe not like a fan, like obsessed,
Yeah.
but I did follow. His content was great and I enjoyed his debates. I think we all were like that. As soon as you saw on YouTube Charlie Kirk, you would click on it. Like you knew there was good stuff there. So, and I genuinely thought he was a good guy, um, especially at the end there. Our views were aligning more and more. I think a lot of people can relate to that. So yeah, it was a hit that a psychological hit that we all took when it happened to him. And so I was following you guys, you, Valhalla, everyone that was doing the investigations, Candice, obviously. I discovered Baron. So I was watching, I was following, I was obsessed. I actually started being active on X because of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. And then Blake Neff decided to publish this video and list all the lies that Candace ever said, about them.
Mm-hmm.
And post this fake invitation to their podcast. And I listened to these lies and I'm like, this is insane. Like all of it is debunkable. Like it's lies, blunt lies. So I decided to do a video. I collected all the videos of Candace. I collected articles, tweets, everything. I'm like, I'm going to prove him wrong on every point. This was my goal. And I didn't think much of it, like what's going to happen later. I just wanted to debunk him so much because I couldn't believe how many lies he told. So I published the video and I boarded the plane. I was traveling. And 4 or 5 hours later, I landed. I turned on my phone and the video was going, maybe not viral per our standards now, but it was doing really well. So, and then I got new subscribers and they wanted more of my input, more of my take. They enjoyed the fact that I debunked it, backing it up with actual evidence, with the videos, like what she actually said. And you're saying she said this. Yeah. So that's how it started. I started doing more and more videos. And I realized that this is how we all are. We're just like this normal people that got obsessed with something and couldn't hold it in anymore and had to get on YouTube and talk about it. And that's how it works.
I mean, the interesting thing too about it is how many. So obviously, there's a lot of people that went all in, right? There's probably 50 to 100, decent sized creators that are all over this. But on X, there's like thousands of people that are all over this, and even to this day, they're still battling about which theory is correct, and where the audio came from, and all these different things, where the video source is. We know about the Bednar stuff that's still going on. He was on Didi Got a podcast. But so you don't have to give 100% answer, but which way do you lean towards what you think might have happened based on everything you've seen? Because there's several different theories out there. And again, you don't have to say I endorse this exact thing, but which one which one do you think has the most weight?
Like what was used, or who was it, or why? What?
Both. Yeah, both.
All of it.
Was it Colonel Sanders with the candlestick?
With the candlestick? Yes. We agree. Great minds. I think we talked about it a little bit last time, and my answer didn't change. Every time I listen to a new theory, I'm like, well, that's possible. That's compelling. It could happen. There are so many good theories out there. It could be the mic. It could be, at some point someone said it was electric shock. I don't know. I still, though, from the start, what is the new one I saw? I can send it to you. I forgot. there is a person claiming that he was shot in the ear. Yeah, and there is a video of the ear actually going, woo, you know.
In
Look,
the right ear,
yes,
and then it came out over here.
yes. So that's the new theory that I saw. See,
I don't.
every day there is a new one. Okay, this is like, you know, not super like the strongest one, but I'm saying that you can find proof, compelling proof for all of them. I mean, proof, alleged proof. Yeah, let's be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from the start, I am still with the bullet theory that it, this is the most compelling one for me. I know to you is the mic, right?
So I'm kind of in the same camp as you. There's been enough research done and enough people trying to prove their theory that they've given so much information that could theoretically make it seem like that's possible, that there's like
Hmm.
three different ways that I'm leaning. So I would say that there's some compelling things about the mic theory. There's some compelling things about it actually being a shot from a different location or a second shooter.
Hmm.
I don't buy the electrocution one. I think that was more like
Yeah.
an interesting side note, not necessarily the thing. And I covered that extensively, and those videos just got demonetized, and YouTube went crazy on those.
Oh.
Uh, but yeah, I would say the John Bray theory is pretty interesting. That'd probably be my main one I'd be interested in.
Hmm. I just hope we will know the truth at some point. I think if we know who, that will lead to how.
Maybe. I mean,
I
they say
think
they
there
have
is no other
300
way.
terabytes of footage. If they have 300 terabytes of video, I want to see what happened on the roof. And it sounds like they have that footage supposedly.
Did they say that?
They have campus cameras all around, and 300 terabytes. That's a lot of video. And I think their cameras are 4K, and there's some on the roof right up by where he was supposedly. So in theory, they should have very high definition video of someone on the roof taking the shot.
Yeah. Well, when I was talking with Lionel, I told him that there was this theory that popped into my head, and probably I'm not the only one. I'm not claiming it as mine or something genius, okay? But as not funny as this whole thing is, because let's face it, it's still like a horrific thing that happened and it's a real investigation. I had this thing pop in my head that if it was a comedy, okay, if it was a comedy movie, imagine Tyler Robinson actually deciding that day to take out Charlie. All right, so he's getting ready, he's getting everything together, putting his clothes on, he's climbing up on the roof, and he's like ready to take a shot, and suddenly it happens without him, pulling the trigger. So he starts running. He dumps the rifle, and he's like, "Oh my god, what now?" So that would be funny, not funny, but funny.
Yeah, I've heard that theory from a few people saying that maybe he was part of it and thought he was supposed to be the one to do it and never actually got the chance to do it because someone else did it first.
Yeah,
So that's interesting. But like you said, I don't know if we'll ever know. But the way things have been going, like there's this new theory. I think Barron kind of brought it to the forefront, but other people have mentioned it as well about possibly the data centers and the data center in Utah having something to do with it. And yeah,
that
that
is
goes.
very interesting.
Yeah,
That is like the most interesting theory till now. I don't know how Baron does it. His brain just is different, and Daisy, his team, it's just another level.
I think they legitimately sit down and just like study and
Yeah,
brainstorm, and like they treat it like a hardcore, like a job. They treat it like a full-time job. All right, let's see. So your acting and stuff that you do when you do your videos, we're actually going to watch part of an old video that you did here in a minute, one of your original videos, which I think will be fun to watch it. But
for
how,
you.
how long have you ever done acting before, or
Not like
commercials or?
professionally. Did I? No, I think I did like a student film
Okay.
as a project or something. Wait, did I do acting? No, I don't think so.
I mean,
Nothing like professional, like a job, like an acting job. You know, projects like with other people just for fun, or like, you know, to develop, to try something new. Yeah, who didn't?
so you said already before piano, viola, violin. You said that you played these instruments, and you've
Yeah.
actually done legitimate schooling for it, right? Like you actually studied music theory and all that, and you said
Yes.
you get stage fright. So, do you actually get stage fright when you're recording these videos, or only for like live streams?
Um, no, I don't get. No, because it's pre-recorded. I'm here alone. I'm just talking. I'm just, voicing my thoughts, so it's fine. I'm not nervous. With live stream, I'm not nervous because I forget there is actually hundreds of people listening. And you just reminded me. So I think that's why it's taking me so long to start doing live streams, because then I will be
Mhm.
responsible and I have to remember I will be talking, and I will remember that I'm talking to people in real time. I'll get it together. I'm getting it together. Live streams will start very soon. No, but stage fright when you play instrument is a completely different beast, because you're on stage and you're playing from memory and you're shaking, and there are hundreds of people just like watching you, waiting for you to to fail. It's a very vicious world of musicians. I'll tell you this: there is a lot of competition, and if you're not the best, you're the worst. Simple as that. So it was stressful, but you look, it's a good school. It's a good thing to do. Teaches you discipline, teaches you passion, teaches you not to give up when it gets difficult. So I know that the school that I went to shaped me a lot. But do I sound like a Miss World yet? I just talking about myself is, yeah,
No,
but
I'm
it's
saying
all
you want to
true.
say about the puppies.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I did similar stuff. I mean, I was in modeling and that kind of stuff when I was younger. I looked very different. Um, I had like because I'm mixed. My father is African American, so I had like
Mm-hmm.
an afro. I like picked my afro out and that kind of stuff. And looked extremely different actually. But I used to
Okay.
do modeling back in the day, and I went to like the AMTC and the big events. And I don't know if you have a moment like this, but when I was this big name guy came in, and he was trying to tell us like, "Hey, I can get you to the next level in your career." And he seemed like a good guy. We did like an acting workshop, and we did a runway show and that kind of stuff with him. But he was clearly, he liked men. He was a man that liked men very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And then he invited
Oh.
me and another guy, another model, to
Mm-hmm.
pick up some other big client that was supposed to help our career. And when we went there, when I got there, they were doing drugs, and he was trying to proposition me. So after that, I quit. I left. Did you have
How
any
old were
experience?
you?
I was probably 17, maybe 17 or
Oh,
18.
young.
Yeah. So it's a
Mm,
twisted industry. So I don't know if that's why maybe you didn't take it too seriously, or maybe that's why you got out of it.
it can be twisted, but like I said, I was older, so I knew kind of where, what to stay away from. I heard stories, I mean, obviously, but I was never a part of that crazy world. I have stories that happen, for example, with bookers, with casting agents and stuff like that. Those were crazy because you can never look perfect for them. You're either too skinny, too fat, your skin, you're something. I had once a situation where in London, my agency called me up, and they said there is this German casting agent that is coming, and they requested to see you. I'm like, okay, I'll come in. And that was right after I did some like makeup job, and I got very bad allergy. Like I got acne
Mhm.
all over my face here. So I came in. My agent knew that. We spoke about it. She's like, it's fine. They will know. It's okay. So I'm like, all right. I'm coming in, all like excited, nice. And this woman, I'm like, hi, I'm Kasia. And she goes, hi, what's wrong with your skin? I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, it's ruthless. But I'm glad that I was older, and I will always say to the girls, modeling is really fun and it's a nice experience, but start when you're older. That's my advice. Don't start when you're 16, 17, even 18. Start when your frontal lobe is developed, when you've had experiences in your life, when you finished school, and do it for fun. It's fine, because then you will not get in trouble. You will not have these horrific stories that a lot of models out there, then come out on TED Talks like, this is what I've been through.
Or like the E-Files, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where they got a lot of their clientele and stuff from, was from modeling and spas, and yeah, it's a terrible situation.
Yeah, when you're older, I will repeat it again. When you're older, you most likely will avoid that type of situations, because you will know, you will have experience, you will have life experience, and you will not get into that trouble easily.
Now, you are the only person I know that I can think of besides Baron that Candace has endorsed their channel. Didn't she
Oh
do a
yeah.
comment that said, I love this channel in all caps or something similar?
How cool is that?
How many people can say that? I only know 2. You're one of them.
It's it was
So you
very cool of her to do, honestly. She is
you can
super cool
retire
to
now.
do that. Yeah, I made
You
it.
made it.
Yeah, that's it. I actually said it when it happened. I said it to my husband. I'm like, so what now? What is the next goal? I mean, we've been approved by Candace. We're on top of the world. No, it was really cool. I think it was really cool of her to do that. I'm not a big creator, and that was unexpected, really. So yeah, she's just very cool. She also congratulated me when I got my silver play button on X.
Yeah.
That was, I like, how cool is she,
So you never actually talked to her directly?
No, I haven't. She asked me once, I did when Brett Cooper quit from Daily Wire, I did a funny video about it, and she commented on that video. That was, 2 years ago now. And she asked me what's my skincare routine, because I said that I'm in my late 30s, and probably that's why she asked me about my skincare routine.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought you were in your 20s.
It's the lights and cameras.
It's movie magic is what it is.
Yes, exactly. It's all fake, guys.
Yeah. Well, Candace Owens has been central to this whole thing, obviously. And it's interesting to see that Brian Harpole, I guess the official suing of her, where he's showing all these other creators and people that have basically, he's saying that, or insinuating, I think, that, her influence has caused all these other people to kind of domino effect, start accusing TPUSA and him and other people. But, and obviously she's been pushing this investigation, but do you feel like it's all validated? Like a lot of stuff that we're seeing from all the different creators and everything, and all this this attention on TPUSA and everything else, do you think it's all validated, or do you think that some of it's hype? Like, do you ever feel like in your heart, like, yes, there's something going on, but I can't 100% say it's these people, so I'm not sure if they deserve all this scrutiny? Or do you feel like, no, this is legit, like we need to go after these people?
So my biggest problem currently is that there are some creators that post things that are not true, and they hide behind the allegedly. It's not verified yet, but it could be. And they post outrageous things that make anyone who is serious about it, anyone who has good intentions and are trying to stick to the facts, that it makes us all look ridiculous as well. That's one issue that I have. And then I think all of us that have been covering this case have these moments. I have it a lot, maybe not even with TPUSA, but with Erika. I try to look at her actions through a different lens, through a lens of someone who is a supporter, okay? Like, I'm trying to explain it to myself. I'm trying to excuse some things. I'm trying to think of her grieving.
Yeah.
And I go through the early speeches, and I go through the latest speeches, and her decisions and how she carried herself. I always come to the same conclusion, that something is wrong there. Something is not normal. I cannot force myself to think differently. And I don't know how people don't come to the same conclusion as me, studying all that. And it's the same with TPUSA. The more we know about these affairs, about the dealings, about who was working there, who's behind it, about TPUSA faith, all these people connected to certain things of, non-adults transport.
The youth, yeah.
It's very hard not to be suspicious. I'll just say that. And I try to be fair in my content as well. I try to look at it from, and I also go on X and I read different comments. I go on the accounts of creators that are, like, I wouldn't even call them Candace haters, because not all of them are. Some of them just disagree with, what she's saying, or other creators that support her say. And I'm trying to understand, how do you come to your conclusions? How do you think, like, no, she's just grieving. She has nothing to do with it. TPUSA is innocent. They all loved Charlie. Everything is fine. There's nothing to see here. There is so much to see there. There is so much. We've been talking about it for 8 months and we still have content, okay? There is so much. And not all accusations, not all information comes from Candace. Yes, she's the number one podcast. She was the closest to Charlie. She knew everyone involved in this case. So obviously we'll be looking up to what she's saying and what she's discovering. She has the insider info, right?
Well, she was the spark at the beginning.
She was the spark, but she wasn't the spark about Erika. She was protecting Erika, and she was speaking very highly of Erika at the beginning. It was other people, and it was her followers actually screaming at her, like, please look into her. Like, there is something wrong with this woman. How can you not see it? And she said, I will look into her if I'll catch her on a lie. And that's what happened in December. Candace is very smart, by the way, with how and when she releases information that she's sitting on. I was watching Baron, I don't remember which episode it was, but he said it himself, that she has incredible self-restraint, that the amount of stuff she's sitting on, the messages she has. He also confirmed, he said, she let me go through her phone. I saw the messages. They were friends until the very end. So if someone was doubting that Candace and Charlie, if they were friends or if they had a fallout, they were friends till the end.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw there was a video today going around on X. I think it was a PragerU video. And it's where Candace and Charlie are talking about when they used to date, like, dated back in the day. And people were saying that he was dating someone else. I don't know if it was Erika Kirk or someone else at the time, but it's a very interesting video. That the mannerisms between them is doesn't seem natural, but I don't know. I
think she's much younger, much gigglier.
Yeah.
They have this, I don't know. I find it endearing. I think they were good friends. I think they truly were.
Yeah.
Yes. They had these inside jokes, and she was laughing. She was so happy around him. Come on. It was really cute.
Yeah, I think everyone's had friends like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had friends like that where people are like, "Oh, your girlfriend." I was like, "No, that's not my girlfriend. It's just my friend." They're like, "Well, the way she acts around you," I'm like, "No, she's just my friend." So, yeah, it's totally possible. Now, from your European, is it Cypriot or Cypriot?
Cypriot.
Cypriot. Okay. From your European Cypriot perspective, how does the Charlie Kirk case reflect bigger issues like political violence, conservative infighting, donor influence, and that kind of stuff? Does it hit differently than U.S. only viewers might see?
Mm, I think it hits very similarly. I don't think he was as known in Europe as in America, but I'm gonna give credit to Daily Wire here
Uh,
because yeah. Okay, look, 2 years ago we were all like 2, 3 years ago we were all watching them, right? Candace was there, Brett was there. We were listening to Shapiro, to Matt
yes.
Walsh, all their documentaries. We all were, all these YouTubers today. We were all raised on that, and it kind of it was like a blueprint for a lot of us how to do like a single person podcast and not be
Yeah.
boring, and like how to
It
do
paved
this
the way.
content.
Yeah.
Yes, it really did. So Daily Wire became popular in Europe. Like amongst my friends in Cyprus, in Poland, they were the ones that were bringing those news to Europe, to us. Now I don't know if it's completely organic or something is behind it, that it was their messaging that was arriving here, but yeah, a lot of us found out about U.S. politics and about leftists and wokeness and all these things. We learned it from them. So I have to give credit where it's due. Um, but it's
Do
pretty
you have
much now, yeah,
do you have like a left and a right similar to what we
yes,
do? Okay.
yes, especially in Poland, it's massive. The it's still it's less in America now than in Poland, I would say.
Interesting.
So after Charlie's assassination, you know what we observe what happened, that left and right kind of united against the elites. Like this is what we see now. That is people versus the oligarchs.
Yeah.
Didn't happen yet in Poland. It's still right versus left going strong. So we'll see. We'll see because it comes with a delay to our side of the globe.
I mean, have there actually been any positive changes that have come out of that? So, say left and right unite, and it's people against the government or people against the elites. Have you seen anything actually change? Have they had enough power to actually do anything?
Well, I believe that it's a very new movement, right? So we'll see. I didn't see anything changing yet in terms of, no one went to jail that's supposed to go to jail. And I think that's the main thing, that people want to see elites being punished for what they did,
Accountable?
locked
Yeah.
up. And that's not happening yet. They still put in jail, for example, e-files. There are some unknown names that apparently went to jail. Who the hell cares? Yeah.
Yeah. I think people want to see them paraded around. They don't want it to be like a quiet lockup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're not going to talk about the e-files too much just because,
Let's not. No,
the
I got
outgo.
you in trouble.
And we don't talk
Do
about
it.
baguette either. So,
Nope.
yeah.
No
And for those
macaroons today. No
Yeah, for those
macaroons.
that don't know, she mentioned macaroons one time, and they just cut us off instantly. Like the whole stream just pew, shut down, cut off. My computer shut down, and I think we retried it like a couple days later or something. But that was crazy. The
Yes, it
timing.
was crazy. And I had no idea what was happening. It was my first live stream ever. So you stopped talking and then you're like, oh, just answer some supers while I do something. I'm like, okay, that's normal. Yeah.
Everyone act natural. Yeah,
Yes.
very interesting. Now, this is the part that a lot of people don't discuss, right? Like people don't know what happens behind the scenes with us, with creators in general, but even specifically in this like Charlie Kirk investigation and even some other stuff like the e-files or whatever it may be. There's a lot of people that get backlash, threats. Some people have, they lose some of their audience in certain cases, and sometimes they can cause like internal doubts. Have you had anything major like that affect you? Like I know one creator, I won't say who, but she went out on her front porch and she had a package there, and she brought it in the house and opened it, and it was like a bomb that blew up. There was like glitter, and she's like
Oh,
that could have been an actual bomb,
oh my God.
right? And it
No.
was from a random fan. So have you ever had anything strange like that happen to you?
No strange things like that. It's the usual hate, like the harmless ones, the keyboard warriors. Those are okay. Sometimes I get into discussions with them, And because I'm a polite and nice person, a lot of the times they change the tune at the end of the conversation. They're like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know. So I like to do that. I like to talk with people, even when they disagree with me. I like to, maybe explain my take again. And then they're like, okay, you actually have a point. So that's cool. Yeah, no, it happens. Like the hate happens, especially when it's such a clear divide. It's either
Yeah.
people, are for Candace Owens or they're against Candace Owens. That's somehow that's what it became now online. And so the ones that are against, they will call you names sometimes. They will, watch your video just to, tell you how dumb you are. But when you
And
actually get into discussion with them, and what was it? It was very recent. Someone said on X that Candace Owens defended the Einstein guy. Yeah. And I'm like, she defended Einstein? Like, okay, can you send me a video or an article or a quote of Candace where she's defending? So the person is sending me article interpreting Candace's episode as her defending Einstein. Not that she did, but those articles, right? That she said
yeah.
this, which means she supports this and is against that. So it was that type of article. I'm like, okay, so she didn't actually defend him, right? And silence followed.
Prove them wrong. Well, the most interesting thing that I've seen is you have people that will talk crap consistently, but they keep coming back. So they'll say
Yeah.
like, you're wrong, you're terrible, that's a bad take or whatever, and they keep saying that kind of stuff, but they keep coming back and they keep watching. And it's like, so
Thank
are
you.
you like that's the biggest, like you're basically your biggest fan, right? Like they're obsessed almost. But
Like
yeah,
Blake Neff is the biggest fan of Candace Owens. Yes.
yeah,
Obsessively watching. They all watch her. And then they dissect her episodes. That's why she's number one in the world. Those that love her and hate her, they just make her famous. And great, good for her. But I think, no, I didn't have any extreme. Did you have anything extreme happen to you?
I mean, I've had people that I've had threats, and I just told them, I was like,
like on your life?
No, just I think it's more along the lines of like, because obviously I had the firearms instructing and all that kind of stuff and the training from before and martial arts and everything. And I think people were just kind of like, like you get the people that puff their chest and they're like,
Okay.
oh, you think you're so big and tough because you can shoot guns or whatever. And like, no, I'm just teaching people how to shoot guns. It's a American pastime. It's something a lot of people do. And, just kind of say, well, if you have a major issue with it, then, depending on how they handle it, you may have to escalate. But in most cases, like you said, you talk to the person, you say, you have an issue. I'm just a normal dude. And then they usually come back down. Right.
Yeah.
And some of those people I'm actually, I'm semi friends with now at this point. So it's like the story of the kids where they fight, they fight on the schoolyard and they beat each other up and then they become best friends and they're best friends forever.
Yeah.
Kind of those stories.
Wow. Becoming friends with your haters. That's very nice. That's a lovely story.
Well, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
But I noticed this. I spoke about it before as well, that I think this is a difference as well. Europe versus US. Like you guys over there, you really take things to extreme. I'm not saying all of you, okay? Hashtag not everyone. But I see that thing that people are really dying on a certain hill, they will not let go and there will be extreme with that. I saw, we saw the last episode with Victor Marx and Candace Owens. And clearly there was something wrong with Victor, right? Like there is something there. So he said he sent this creepy message to Erika Kirk saying, don't worry, you're okay. No one is going to come after you. They just wanted Charlie. So how do you listen to it? And you're like, no, this guy is fine. His intentions are pure. Everything is okay. And they were still, those Candace haters, they will watch this interview and they will be like, oh, Candace is so dumb. What is, it's crazy to me how extreme it is. Because when I'm able to see the gray area And it seems that there is a lot of people on the internet, they're not able to see the gray area. It's either black or white, and that's it. There is no nuance.
Yeah.
And they sue each other for everything as well.
Well, I think that's my superpower, and that's what frustrates most people about me, is that I live in the gray area, right?
Yes,
So people
you do.
like say something bad about, you know, whatever group, or say something really good about someone. I'm like, no, I don't have to. like
No.
like you are seriously confused and controlled if you think you have to pick a side to every topic. You don't have to. So you are free
No.
to do whatever the hell you want. You're an independent human being. So don't let society or people pressure you into picking the right or the left or this person or that person. Do your own thing.
As soon as you pick a group, as soon as you pick a label, you become responsible for that label, everything that comes with it, the good and the bad. So it's better not to label yourself. Just live in the gray area. Yeah, just live in the logic area, basically. That's what I like to call it.
The gray logic area. Copyright that. Trademark. Okay, so I do want to take a little bit of time. So we're about an hour in. How's your time look for you?
I'm good.
Okay. I do want to show some things that I found that I thought was kind of cool, kind of neat, Kasia. Some neat things.
I
And
have
you
no
said you're
idea
gonna
what
get
you're
me
going to
back.
show, and I'm like starting to sweat a little bit.
Well, I thought it'd be cool to show just some of the old school, you know, old school. So for anyone that doesn't know, and let me know if there's an echo, because sometimes I don't know why, but with StreamYard I get an echo when I start sharing stuff. But this is her. So when I saw this says it's 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw this, I thought you were like 16 or something here. And this was just a couple of years ago. You don't age.
Yes, I'm a vampire. That's
You're
another thing I'm revealing. I'm a DJ vampire.
the unaging woman. But for anyone who wants to get in depth, she talks about, you know, she does a full hour long interview here, talking about a bunch of things when she was in Cyprus before with Cypriota, I guess, podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a very, very interesting one. And she, you know, she cusses, she drops some F-bombs, and she gets pretty hardcore there. But one thing I thought was interesting is they're talking about how people were referring you as like a popular or upcoming podcast. And that was, that was 2 years ago. How long have you actually been on YouTube? Like how long
3
have you
years.
actually been? Okay. So 3 years of creating content. So here's her curve. See this right side of the screen over here?
Oh my God, you get super analytic. Okay.
So no,
Jeez.
this is you can see this with vidIQ on anyone's channel, and I thought it's very interesting because mine is like a exact steady curve that goes up like 45 degrees, like you would expect. But on yours, it's like in what year is this? 2023. You have this burst, and that might have been when you first started.
Because
right?
yes, that's when I started creating content. So I had this channel for a very long time. I think
6 years.
20. Yes, but I never did anything on it. So then, yeah.
And then, you know, you're like, you're still growing, right? You're still growing. You're still doing some stuff, a couple of jumps here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But then we hit, what's this? Basically Charlie Kirk. And then it just takes off.
That Candace video, yeah.
So you're at, 20 million, 19.5 million views, 113,000 subs. And I said at one point, so you're at 113 right now. I'm at 114.
Nah.
I hit 100,000 probably a month before you did. And
yeah, we were we're all the time like kind of the same.
But at that time,
I'm behind you all the time.
Do you remember what I told you when you said you hit your 100K? I said you're gonna pass me. I was like, you're gonna pass me up quick. So I think probably the next 2 weeks, you'll be passing me up, and you'll be on your way to 1 million. So it's just great to see that, though. Great to see that. All right, so this is this your first? No, this is your first video. All right, so we're gonna watch a little portion of this video, and this is her first video 3 years ago on this channel, and I just want you to see how far she's come And it's so cute to watch her do this.
Cyprus is full of weird stuff, and I'm here to talk about it. Welcome to Daily Freddo.
I like that little logo right
People
there.
living in Cyprus have certain opinions about it. I have my own opinions. I've been here for 15 years and I know everything about souvlakia, halloumi. But there are things that people are talking about around the world, about Cyprus and Greece. I found many Reddit tweets and articles that talk about Cyprus, and I want to share them with you. So first of all, people who come visit Cyprus complain a lot about driving here. Not to offend anybody, but
now, for your first video, if you were just a brand new person and you had never done YouTube before, this would be very high production.
Well, that's thanks to my husband, right? It's the production is all him. So he's been improving as well, all of it for the past 3 years. He's the one that did the set, the editing. Yeah, we had the logo arranged. Yeah. But, yeah.
Now, a lot of people are commenting on your AC/DC shirt. Was that to like draw on the American audience, or are you actually like a fan?
No. I love all kinds of music. AC/DC is one of those that I listen. One of my best friends has a baby that only falls asleep to AC/DC music. No joke. He will not fall asleep without it.
That's pretty funny. But I mean, I would say for a first video, and you have your little things that pop in here, like this here. I mean, this is for a very first video on a channel. This is basically where some people end up at after they've been doing it for years and years. And you basically started off that way. So that gives you that good jump. And I think that's a good reason why you had that initial growth up front. But this spike here, let's see, is it December? From December on, I mean, the growth is just insane. And if you continue this path, I mean, you'll be at 200, 300,000, within a year. And just keep growing and growing. So that's awesome to see. You don't always see growth like that. And some people's growth has actually gone down. Some people have lost. So, but we won't talk about who specifically. And of course, you got your 100K.
Yes.
So proud. And
I was very proud. You should have seen my kids. They wanted to sleep with this. They were very excited for me. They love YouTube. I don't let them watch much TV. And when they watch YouTube, they watch certain things that I allow. But they love they usually, so when we film sometimes the episodes, they are outside in the living room, doing their homework, whatever. And as soon as they hear me, that's all for today. Have a good one. They come in and they're like, you finished, huh? Subscribe. And they're just so cute.
Well, and I don't think a lot of people realize the percent of people on YouTube that make it to 100K is very small. It's very, I think the last I heard, it was less than 5%. I want to say it was like 3%.
That's crazy because I really thought there were more. I thought 100K, it wasn't a big deal anymore. Like everyone had 100K. I don't mean to sound like, really, to me, it was a massive accomplishment and I'm super grateful and I was literally celebrating. So it was a big deal to get there. But I really thought it was more people.
Actually, I stand corrected. It's less than 1%. Less than 1% make it to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Well, look at us, Matt.
That is crazy. Wow. And I don't even want to look at 1 million. I don't think in my lifetime I would hit 1 million, but I never expected 100K. But as you were working up to 100K, do you feel like it was a long journey? Like I know you've been doing it, you said, for 3 years, dedicated.
I don't know. It's kind of, when we started the channel, we literally thought it will take us 3 years to get monetized, to even get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm like, who's gonna watch me? Who's gonna listen to me? There is no chance. But you know what happened? The growth happened because our 4th or 5th episode, I covered the story of Jada Smith's series on Netflix about Cleopatra. And it was very controversial because, she casted an Afro-American actress, Black actress. And historically, Cleopatra wasn't Black. And so Greek people in Cyprus, in Greece, Egyptians, they got really, really angry about this casting and about how she did the series. It wasn't historically correct for them. So I covered the story, and that's how I gained American audience initially, because they were interested in the perspective from this side of the world. Everyone was covering this story back then. Everyone, literally, it was Brett, Candace, everybody was talking about it. And I happened to cover it from here. And it was lucky because it went viral. The videos that I did about it, they did go viral. And that's how the channel started growing. It got immediately monetized. And I'm like, okay, we're onto something here. That's how my direction towards those topics, like serving the American side of the audience, began. I thought I would just do content for Greek-speaking audience here, but, well, YouTube wanted a different way.
I mean, I think we're very similar in that, though, because on my channel, actually, I have several friends that have YouTube channels, and they've been doing it. Some of them have been doing it for 15 years. Some of them are still not monetized. They don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. And some of them have like maybe 10, 15,000 subscribers, and it's not really growing. And it's interesting because, just similar to you, it was my second video that, like, within like the first week I was doing this. The second video, I went to bed, and when it had 2 views, I woke up in the morning and it had 130,000, and now it's at 1.4 million. So, and it's just like you, I got like instantly monetized overnight, and I wasn't expecting it. Kind of cool.
It's very cool. I remember sitting in the studio ready to film another video and suddenly seeing these numbers, like we were refreshing, and it was like 10 more thousand, 10 more thousand, 15 more thousand. We're like refreshing. Something is broken. It's an error. Someone hacked us. Something is, yeah, I remember it. It was pretty cool. It's a nice feeling because it's like, it feels like a reward for your work, right?
And so you've also been on Lionel Nation. He speaks very highly of you. He is a big fan, and I just want to show that little snippet here really quick.
There's another one I want to tell you who is very, very good too, and she is really good. Daily Freddo. It's like Fredo almost. Freddo. Tremendous. Great. Absolutely painstaking. See, I love this. This is like the lawyer in me. This is like the best cross-examination. This is incredible. And I'm writing all. They're wonderful. I have never felt. What do I say? I have never seen or been a part of something where I thought, my God, they are so good. And the level of, how do I say this? The level of analysis is through the roof. It's not just some comments. It's wild. I mean, wild. Absolutely wild.
Absolutely wild. So this is interesting because a lot of channels make their entire channel about parroting what other people say or reacting only to what other people say. So one thing that differentiates you, and a lot of people say this too, is you analyze things, you add more to it, you add more value, and you do it in a way that combines like your kind of, I don't want to say like attitude, but like, you know, like
you can call it that.
Well, it's like an emotional roller coaster throughout your video. At one point you're mad, and then the next point you're like laughing a little bit, and you know, like, so you're like going back and forth. But it keeps it entertaining. It's engaging. You know, you have the good production value, and I think you do it in a very unique way. So,
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. No, Lionel, he was so kind and so sweet when he invited me. He messaged me on X. And I don't know how to turn on the notifications, how to make those messages show up. So I know that someone messaged me, and he had to wait 3 weeks for me to answer. You know, because now I'm huge, and he just needed to. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, just sift through all the messages.
I was like, oh my God, do you still want me to come on? He's like, yes, absolutely. So he was really sweet. He's exactly, you know, pre-show, He's exactly the same, Lionel. He talks the same. He's really, really sweet. And after the podcast, he also sent me really nice email. No, it was a great experience. He's a very kind person.
Yeah, I wanted to one other thing I want to cover here is your art. Assuming this is your art.
Okay. Yes.
So you painted this.
Yes.
Did you do this all by yourself?
Yes. And I was 4 months pregnant when I did this. It's a mural in INAP.
So this theme, like this face, seems to be a theme in a lot of your art. So I was going through here and looking at, and you also did the Mr. Cup for Starbucks.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind, I guess, like the face and the style of these characters?
I don't know. One night I dreamt a similar face, and I got very inspired during that time by surrealistic modern art like that. And I always loved painting faces. Like, this is the most interesting part for me. Once I paint the face, I'm like, oh, I want to move on to the next one. I haven't painted anything in 8 years, by the way. This is like past life. Yeah, yeah, I did art for a while. I actually went to study in England, illustration. And after that, I tried to be a painter. It was somewhat successful, but then I moved on.
Now, did you create your own logo and animations and all that stuff on your site?
Yeah. It's literally just me and my husband, and we split the work. So I do research, the content, I'm in front of the camera, and I do the thumbnails, and he does all the production stuff.
So he does all the editing and shorts and everything? Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I think this is unique. So I don't sit and look at art every day, but this style and these faces, like specifically like this kind of face, is very unique. It's not something I've seen before. I think it's pretty cool. So have you ever tried doing like digital art, like iPad?
Yeah, I've done some. I don't know what happened. So this is how I am. And I also said that on Lionel. I get obsessed with something and I do it. Okay. And if I'm obsessed enough, I'll do it well. And then something happens that the obsession finishes. Something else replaces that old obsession. There is a new obsession, and I move on. And that's pretty much my life. And that's why we went from music to fashion to art and to marketing and to YouTube. Yeah, this all happened in the past 30 years.
So it's interesting because, like, I don't know if people realize, but like you and I, we don't really talk behind the scenes, right? Like, I think a lot of people assume that when we have, guests on our show and stuff like that, they were just like texting each other every day and talking and hanging out and stuff. But we don't really talk.
No, we ignore each other's messages, actually,
as much as possible.
Yes.
Right? I see her message and I get disgusted. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
what's the audacity to message me? Oh my gosh, Freddo.
Again, he wants me on his show.
He wouldn't even have a channel without me, But no, it's interesting because just talking to you in this conversation, we have so many similarities because I'm the same way. People hated it. I would like learn, for example, like art. People are asking if I've done art in the past. Yeah, I used to do a ton of art. I still do digital art. I did graphic and web design for many years.
Stop, you did?
I did 3D animation as well. Like you see like the animated films like Finding Nemo and stuff
I
like
did
that.
Stop motion animation.
Oh, I love that.
Like oh my God, that's so cool.
Did you do like the clay shaping and all that stuff?
Yes.
See, I haven't done that yet. I want to do that.
That was my favorite thing.
Yeah, but same thing. I'll learn something new, whatever skill
Guys,
it may be.
I promise you, when I start doing lives, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do deep dive into his life, okay? I'm going to surprise him with content I find on him, all right?
If I answer your message.
This is my challenge.
I answer your message.
If you answer my message, yes.
All right. So that was kind of like the past. So it's very interesting because you're like a what's like what do you call it when it's five, like a 5 threat? 4 is quadruple threat. What's 5? Sequential. You're like a sequential threat.
Quintuple?
You're a
Quintessential.
model. Quintuple threat. But you do the arts, you did the music, you did modeling. You're a number 1 podcaster in Cyprus. Candace signed off on you. Lionel signed off on you. People love what you do. You're also successful in your job. You have a husband. You are. You seem like you're just a good person in general. So you have a lot of things going. You're a very unique individual, I would have to say, in this world.
That's really nice of you to say. Fine, I will come to your show again.
I had to say that or else you wouldn't come back.
Exactly. No, thank you. That's really kind of you. But that's how life is. I think it's like that with everyone. Once you look at your life, the full length of it, you realize how many things you've done. You don't realize it at the time. And when those new chapters are starting or finishing, you don't realize it. I think everyone is like that.
Now, have you ever had a public situation where someone recognized you as Daily Freddo?
I think once.
Just once?
Yeah, just once.
Number 1 in Cyprus, and you only one time?
Okay. So this is so dumb. I cannot believe that I'm going to say it. Okay, but I do not look like this when I walk around in Cyprus. I don't wear makeup. My hair is up. I have massive glasses on my face. Yeah, so I don't think anyone would recognize me that easily. I think that's the thing. I'm like Superman, you know? I take off my glasses, suddenly I'm Daily Freddo. And when I put on my glasses, I'm unrecognizable.
Yeah, I look the same. I'm bald. So I've been recognized several times, and even by people from out of state, which was interesting. I went to a local gun range, and someone came in from, I think it was New York, and I was just shooting in my lane. They were shooting in their lane, and as I go to leave, they're like, "You look really familiar. Where have I seen you before?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I don't think like in a gun range holding guns is the time to be talking about this kind of stuff." And we go out to the main area, and he's like, "You're on TV or something." I'm like, "No, like not really." Like I
come on, missed opportunity. You need to play with these things. You need to play into that. You're like, yes, I was the last James Bond.
Like you're saying, famous, I can't tell you who. But no, he's like, eventually we got to the point where, he's like, "Oh yeah, you're TriggerSmart." And I was like, "Oh yeah. I do have the YouTube channel type of thing." And then over the next like 2 or 3 months, that kept happening at different stores and stuff around, like in Nebraska and some other places I traveled. People recognize, but I'm too easily recognizable. You know, like I'm a big guy with a bald head. Like it's really
there are
easy.
no other bald guys in your area.
Not even one.
Okay, so that's a strategic move, right? It's like PR for you.
Only Sasquatches. Yeah, I shaved everything just because of this reason.
No, I know it's your branding. I understand.
So there's one thing I did want to talk about. You speak a lot about education and issues with education. So, like Cyprus, a lot of people say Cyprus has gone woke, and they've imported bad trends like the gender ideology stuff, and like I'm trying to avoid saying certain words, but like the education for the youth about their development and things like that. So can you touch on some of that stuff? Because I'm actually interested on your take.
2 years ago, the schools in Cyprus got a letter from European Union and new guidelines for that type of education for little kids. And that type of education was supposed to start from 4 years old. And I actually I have a video on my channel. I went through all these guidelines and I couldn't believe how insane it was. I mean, there is no way PDF file didn't write those. It was crazy what they wanted to talk about with 4-year-olds, okay? And so when I was choosing school for my kids, the first thing I asked the headmaster, I was like, okay, how are you with this type of education? Do you talk about it? Do you not talk about it? So it's a tiny village school. So they were like, no. We just teach names of body parts. That's it. We don't do anything. So the normal stuff, okay? And I don't necessarily think that this type of education is wrong at that age. I believe that you need to teach your kids what is good touch, what is bad touch, like all these precautionary things about their body and things like that. Things that will keep them safe and aware in the world, even at this young age. But I don't believe it's a job of a stranger in a classroom that will come in and it will be in front of all the other kids, and it's just I don't believe in that. And but again, I would have to use these words, and I don't want to use the words right now, but the things, horrific things that they were writing, that they should start teaching in the class to 4-year-olds, and then by the time they're 9, they're supposed to know everything about the actual act,
The techniques. Yeah.
like the stuff,
Yes. Yeah.
So that was horrifying to learn, and I'm like, no wonder that we get stupider and stupider, because if this is a priority to teach our kids, and not geography, not history, the correct history, and language, usage of language. I heard that Gen Z cannot write cursive. I heard Gen Zs cannot read the clock. It's crazy, but they know about all this other stuff, yeah, because that was at school. That was the education at school. They know how to do stuff with each other. It's insane.
Yeah, I would agree. There's been some interesting situations with my children. So they go to public school, and
Okay, do
so
tell.
in the public schools, they not only talk about the biological things that you would expect that they should teach them about, the things to expect as they mature and get older, but they actually were trying to teach techniques of how to do certain acts, which obviously, first of all, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. And then second of all, this was like a unofficial meeting. Like the parents were not notified that this information was going to happen. So when you get into a situation like that, that to me is like a PDF takeover type of situation.
Absolutely. And there is no other way to call it. Who's calling the show? Who says this is appropriate? So you said that they did that without parents knowing.
Correct. My daughter came home and told me, and then we obviously we went up and talked to the principal.
My husband is too Greek for this.
And the response is lackluster too. It's like, oh, well, sure, we'll make sure next time that we alert the parents. Well, no, there shouldn't even be a next time. Like this shouldn't even happen in the first place.
Man,
but people, take care of your watch over your kids. Make sure you know what's going on at school. Don't just send them to school and not be involved in anything, because there's some crazy stuff happening.
So this was another stage of that indoctrination, right? They were telling kids there is a school psychologist they can talk to, and the school psychologist would tell them. So, for example, when the trend for transitioning, right, came, I'm being very careful with words. I hope everyone understands what I'm saying. But yes, so the trend of transitioning came. So school psychologists would say, yeah, you can talk to us. The parent was painted as the enemy because the parent wouldn't agree for something. I've learned that there were states in America that would actually take the kids away from parents, that wouldn't administer that healthcare to their kids. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, seriously. So 2 years ago, it started to creep in to Cyprus. It never fully stayed. It never fully developed because Cyprus is still very Christian, very traditional and conservative, I would say. So it didn't become such trend. But that's not to say that we don't have, for example, LGBTQ groups and the parades every year. Although I did a comparison how they look in Cyprus and how they look in other countries. Literally here, it just looks like rainbow flags, family event, just walking around
Yeah.
with music. And it doesn't look like that in other countries, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't want to comment on that stuff. I think I'll get myself in trouble with YouTube.
Yeah, there are too many. Yeah, it's a minefield.
Yeah. But now, so I don't know your exact take on this, but as far as like, well, I guess, so are you a feminist or are you anti-feminist or somewhere in the gray area?
I had a moment when I was saying that I was a feminist. Then I had a moment when I was saying I wasn't a feminist. Again, I'm for logic. I'll
So
say
what
that.
changed it? So when you were hardcore feminist, what made you switch back, or what made you kind of start going the other direction?
I wasn't a hardcore feminist, but I did believe that women were fighting for the rights for the right reasons, and that it was justified at some point. And then, of course, like with everything in the world, overcorrection happened, and feminist movement became kind of like man-hating movement. Treat us like princesses, but give us all the rights, and give us benefits, not even rights. Okay, give us benefits over men. So I didn't like that. So now I'm kind of like, I don't want to label myself. I just comment on situations and what's going on. And again, I'm on the side of logic. I'm not going to label myself anything ever anymore because I don't want the baggage that comes with that. If I'm going to say now that I'm a feminist, everyone will be like, okay, then go make your man a sandwich now. Shut up and be in the kitchen. Okay. If I say I'm not a feminist, so like, where's your blue hair? So I'm not labeling myself anything. I believe that woman has a role, man has a role in the family. I believe in nuclear family. I have one. I have two beautiful children. And but also I believe that times changed. Economy changed. I love that I can have my voice on YouTube. I love that I can pursue my passions and have a family and have a supportive husband. I can work with my husband, like on this project. It's wonderful that we have all these opportunities and all these choices, right? That it's about balance, man.
Which is one of the most difficult things for most people in life in general.
Yes.
Balance is very hard to achieve for most people.
Are you a feminist?
I think that feminism has probably been one of the worst things that has happened to women. It has brainwashed a lot of people, and I think because of feminism, that's why things have gone so far the opposite direction, to where women think they don't need a man and women can rule the earth and all that kind of stuff.
The radicalization, yes, that's what I said.
Yes.
When it goes too far, when it's overcorrected, because I do believe, for example, our grandmothers who weren't allowed to even have their own bank accounts, yes, of course they would be like, come on, let's fight a little bit for our rights here. We're human beings too. So I believe there was a good reason at some point, or at least it was presented as a good reason, because there is another part of feminism. I'll not get into it, but it was presented and quoted as a good reason for women to fight for. We know that there is another layer of that wave of feminism, that they just simply wanted more people to pay taxes, right? They wanted women in the workforce. It's a layered subject. Yeah.
Have you heard about, there was a stat that said that the time that divorce climbed the most when this one thing happened. So what do you know what that thing was? In the history of men and women, divorce rise the most after this one thing happened.
Feminism?
No. Birth control. When birth control came out, statistically, women became more promiscuous and were less likely to get married, and it kind of just spiraled from there. And then you add feminism, and this hardcore like anti-masculine movement that, to be honest, I think that's kind of died back a little bit. Like in the last few years, I think it was worse.
It must have been both ways, though, right? Like, so if the birth control affected it, so women became more promiscuous, men could have many women without consequences as well. So,
which I think they did anyway, right?
not that they cared.
That's what
No,
I'm saying. You should.
we're not promoting anything. Yeah, what a subject you just brought up to this conversation. I thought I would just be sweating here because you'll be showing some embarrassing moments of my life, but we went into feminism. Man, this is layers and layers of things.
There's a lot to it, and
Yes.
like some people are saying, it's a psyop. It's an operation to break apart the nuclear family. Like you said, the more households there are, the more taxes they can get. It's a like a capitalist type of thing, maybe. Yeah. And then crime has gone up, right? Is there's like less fathers in the home. We know those stats that there's way higher chance that the kids are going to be criminals and stuff like that. So some people think all of it's by design. It was all put together.
Well, look what's happening, right? Girls, as soon as they turn 18 now, they get on OF. I'm going to say the word. I'm trying not to get you in trouble.
I'm not sure what you're speaking of.
Okay. Well, you need to get educated then.
Not in that way.
It's a very bad place online. But yeah, they turn 18 because they're promised that they're going to have millions and millions of dollars from sharing the first link. And then you have men who, are not raised with the thought that they need to strive to become good fathers, good providers, strong men, protectors of the family. No. You are in this world to have fun, and ideally with loads of women. So, what world are we gonna have? What do you expect?
I think it's a lot of it is self-serving. A lot of people have moved to the mentality. So a lot of people have moved away from religion. I think that's a big part of it. And then without religion and without
100%.
the confines of that and the morals that come with it and those type of things, I know quite a few people personally that are saying, like, I'm not sinning if I'm not religious. Right? They're like sin only exists within the confines of religion. So if you're not a religious person, then there's no such thing as sin.
There was a time where my friends, so I was raised in church. I was going to church every Sunday. I wasn't allowed to skip church. I was like a thing. But then when I went to high school and after high school, it became a thing in media between my friends that actually believing in God was embarrassing. I was like, really? You believe fairy tales? Like, okay, you're dumb. And a lot of people fell for it, obviously. Not maybe fully, but to some extent, they started hiding as well. Maybe that they believed that they were religious. I see that the trend is changing now. So that's nice. People, again, are becoming proud in their faith. But there was a period of time, especially 20 years ago, 100%, it was happening around me, at least.
Well, I think geofencing is changing some of that too. They're going to know exactly who to target.
Yes.
And that's been a big topic too. The geofencing, the data centers, AI, what it all means. I saw something today. They're talking about how they're removing, obviously, the aquifer water and the fresh water from underground. And that could open up to not just sinkholes, but also earthquakes. So I don't know. It's a whole big thing. I was actually working on a documentary, and I interviewed some people here locally because we have several data. I didn't know this. I knew there was a data center near me. There's 13.
I found out we have them in Cyprus. I actually did the search. Yes. I had no idea. Although I don't know what type exactly they are. I didn't get far enough. But yes, that one of the biggest telecommunication services here, SITA, apparently invested in those. So,
well, the thing I found out, so there were some senators that were trying to pass bills to go against these, or at least they try to regulate them. And I reached out to the senators, and none of them will comment. None of them will go on the record. None of them will interview. And I asked their administrative assistant, I was like, were they threatened? Right?
Mm,
Like I was like, were they paid off? Were they threatened? Are they in danger? And she basically was like, no comment. So I thought that was very
that's
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. So I've reached
Mm,
out to I've reached out to people outside of Nebraska. I've reached out to other states and people on X and everywhere else. And I'm like, will you be in this documentary and like speak out against this or talk about your experience with it? And no one wants to do it. So I don't
wow,
know. Something
you're
going on
onto
there.
something. Yeah,
Hmm.
you're definitely onto something. I think more and more creators will be speaking about it. I started doing my research into it because I was curious. I'm like, okay, all this is happening in America. What's happening here? And I discovered we have it going on here. I don't know yet to what extent. I'm on it.
Are you going to report on the ground? You're going
Yes,
to do Kasia's hot take?
reporting from Limassol.
Yeah, I think so as far as your channel goes, obviously you've been very successful. Where do you see yourself in like another 2 to 3 years? Like what is your goal?
Mm, obviously, me and Candace will become best friends.
Of course. That's a given.
And yeah, obviously. No, I'm joking. Um, I don't know. Regarding my channel, I would like to keep growing at the pace that I'm growing. I would like to become a little bit more confident in it because it happened very quickly. You saw this like sudden since December, so I'm not sure. I'm like, I told you before we started, like people will get bored of what I'm saying. This is not forever. But if it is, it would be amazing because it's something I actually enjoy doing. So I would love for it to be my job, if you call it that. And hopefully one day, maybe million subscribers, maybe in like 10 years. I don't want to be too optimistic. I don't want to jinx anything. Seriously, I'm like
You
that.
should
I'm
set,
raised in Poland.
well, you should dream big, right?
Mm, okay.
Hmm? They don't dream big in Poland.
No, we do, but we usually it's like internal. You don't say it out loud because you will jinx it, or someone na to matiasun. That's in Greek. They will put a bad eye, and yeah, it will not come
So you
true.
just visualize it internally and just keep it to yourself.
You're yes, you're attracting. No, I'm laughing. Obviously, like if you have a YouTube channel, you want it to grow. I would love to do more collaborations, like with you. Like first I was watching you, and I was following your content, and I was, next thing I know, we're like chatting. It's really, really cool. And I said also to Lionel that this specific community investigating Charlie Kirk is like so nice. Everyone shouts each other out. Everyone is supporting each other. There is no competition. Nobody is trying to one up the other. It's like kind of like group of friends that are like that have the same goal and like push each other, kind of like or pull each other. I don't know. It's really nice.
I have noticed though there are definitely cliques. Just like in high
Oh,
school.
then you have more insight than me because I'm like this living in my bubble. Everyone is friends.
Well, I see it mostly on X. You have like little
Okay.
groups, little factions they have their own thoughts and their own they basically every group accuses all the other groups of being feds. That's basically what it comes
Oh,
down
yes.
to.
Oh, I was accused. Yes. Newest
You're a Fed
accusation.
too?
I'm a Russian spy.
Oh, Russia. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I know you're a Russian spy. I just didn't know. I thought you were a Fed as well.
Oh man, that's
Do you
fun.
speak Russian?
Actually, I can understand Russian because it's very similar to Polish. A lot of words are similar, but I can't speak it.
I was only taught one word, and it's a bad word, so I'm not going to say it.
Hmm?
But I met a girl who was Ukrainian and Russian, and just the lifestyle, everything. It was so wild. Like European
Yeah.
people and people over there are very wild. Like I always thought Americans were like wild and crazy. They have nothing on that region.
But wild in what sense? I don't consider myself wild. I think I'm pretty calm.
like fearless.
Okay, yes. Yes, we're insane.
Yes. Yeah.
We just do stuff. Go for it.
Don't even think about it. You just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I did. I moved to Cyprus.
So now, if you let's say in the perfect world, so you grow your channel, you're at 1 million subs. You and Candace are roommates. Um, right? You've gotten to that level. You've had Baron on your show, or Baron's been on your show on his. You've been on his show or whatever. Which by the way, Baron, she's open to that if you guys want to do a collab. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, Baron didn't want to invite himself on my channel. I will personally invite him. No worries, it's coming.
Well, I think you guys would have a really good members, because he does those members only shows. I think you'd be a good candidate for that. So maybe you guys can get something set up. You should reach out to him. But
Yeah.
with all that stuff going on and Daily Freddo, do you see yourself like branching off into other channels and doing other things as well? Or do you think it'll be, yeah?
So definitely. My channel was doing very different things, different topics. Basically anything that I'm interested in, I was talking about. Only the past months, I became obsessed with Charlie Kirk, and because I do still have full-time job. You asked me about it. I do have full-time job. So my time for research is limited still. So I just don't have time to be obsessed with anything else right now. But as soon as that happens, as soon as, we find out what happened to Charlie, and I will become obsessed with a new topic, I hope people will still hang out and still will be interested in what I have to say. So if I would have to tell you what would be my dream for the channel, is to have it set up in a way that it's not just one topic, and the people that are hanging out with me during the videos, they're here to, discuss other things too, because there are so many interesting things happening in the world. And yeah, that would be,
I think that's
nice.
That's a very important point, because I've actually spoken to 5 or 6 other creators just this week that we're talking about the same thing. They said this: if you do a Charlie Kirk or Erika Kirk or TPUSA or Frank Turek video, then YouTube pushes the crap out of it, and a lot of us built our audiences in this arena, kind of like in the Charlie Kirk arena. If you do anything of any other topic, it doesn't seem to get any traction. So the audience is either only interested in Charlie Kirk, or YouTube is not pushing that content out if it's not Charlie Kirk, because that's been your most popular regular content. So, for example, one person was working on Charlie Kirk stuff, and they'll get, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views. And then they tried to branch off into some other like true crime, like cold cases and, JFK and like the Idaho 4 and stuff like that. And it got 0 traction. They were lucky if they got like 2,000 views on a video in like a week.
Because I don't think that's how you do it. At the moment, I know that my audience, people who watch my videos, they are as obsessed with Charlie as I am. They are looking for news. They like me. I know that a lot of people watching me, they like me summarizing Candace, adding a little bit of my own thoughts, like you said. Sometimes I also summarize Baron a little bit. He has long shows as well. So I think the transition into a new topic needs to happen organically. And you cannot force someone to like or be interested in a topic they are not interested in. So if a lot of my subscribers, like most of my subscribers now, subscribed during the time when I was talking about Charlie Kirk, I know exactly what they want to hear. I know exactly why they are on my channel. I'm not going to force anything on them now that they are not interested in. Now, in the future, once the topic cools off, and I don't know for what reason, either we'll find what happened exactly, maybe there will be a big pause between the trials, I don't know. If it will cool off, world keeps going on, there is going to be another huge thing that happens. So for example, I remember when the war started, that day when, I'm not going to go into details. I don't know which words I can say. When it started on that day, I published the video literally the same moment. I published the video, and then tweets started coming in. What happened? This video did 0 views. I mean, not 0, but like it was flat.
Yeah.
Did nothing because this other topic was trending and everyone was interested in that. They wanted to watch that. I think we just listen to people who are subscribed to our channels for as long as they want to hear my opinion, and my take on this topic. I'm going to deliver because I am here for them. I am here thanks to them. If they want me to talk about something else, a new thing that happens, new breaking news, something in the future, and I will get obsessed with it because I can't fake it. If I'm not obsessed, I'm not gonna talk about it. If we align like that, then it's going to be very nice, smooth, organic transition. I don't think you should force something on your audience that they will not like. Now, again, I'm not saying don't introduce new things, but I think there is a way to do it. Maybe on a live, mention a few new topics. Like how many things we got to talk about today? It's amazing.
So that's the other question. When are you officially going to start doing lives? Because everyone's asking about it. You talked about it with Lionel. You do great live.
Thank you. You've been saying that from the beginning, and I'm grateful. Guys, beginning of June. That's the goal. So the exact date will be posted soon.
So you heard it here. Beginning of June, she's going to start doing what, a weekly live or just live?
Yeah, it's going to be weekly. Yeah, okay. I'm aiming on weekly live. We'll see. We'll see how my nerves will handle. Please be kind.
That should be interesting. You got to play with the algorithm at that point. All right. Yeah. So I think what we'll do is it's been almost impossible to keep up with the chat. Most people are just giving their comments, not a ton of questions.
Mm-hmm.
But we can go through that stuff here. And then really quick, for anyone, just like you said, you don't want to force topics on people. Well, that's what I do here at TriggerSmart. So I'm starting a series.
Works on me because I watch it. So.
Well, this series is called Off Script. And what I'm doing is I'm actually going to try and set it up on another channel, I think. But I've already started the process. But for anyone who was going through like the COVID-19 thing and everything else, a lot of people know who this is. This is Dr. Roger Stwelt, and he was one of the doctors that gave all the information about COVID-19, how to take care of yourself, the importance of like vitamin D during all of it. And he's my first official episode of the Off Script podcast, and it's about an hour and a half, but very good information. He talks about vitamin D, he talks about light, but he also talks about the current virus outbreaks, Hanta and Ebola, and H5N1. So if you get a chance, make sure you guys check that out. It's been very well received, but not pushed by YouTube at all, as expected, because it's a completely different topic shift, completely different category, all that. So I wasn't expecting the first one to take off, but very, very good experience for sure. But he was awesome. He has some really good information in there. All right, let's go through. So you can't see chat, can you?
No, you kept me blind to all this time.
I did. For anyone that's not familiar with what's going on here, I actually kept her blind so she could focus during this. And now
so I don't read your comments.
Let me see if I can add the comments back in. Can you see it now? All right. So we'll go through this really quick. We have a lot of new members: Madness, Delaney, Drew Meck, Katie Marie Morgan, Virgo. Hey, Baby J, how's it going? Baby J also gifted 5 TriggerSmart memberships. Make sure you guys show her some love. I don't, it's random the way it gives them out. So we have no control of that. But if you receive one, make sure you say thanks. Colleen, the boss and me, must be married. I don't give a damn. How's it going? Kasia speaks better English than me, and I am born here. I would agree. I don't know about you, but she speaks better English than I do. Boss and me says thank you. Thanks for the super chat. Baby J again. 5 more TriggerSmart memberships. Show some love. Jackson Whitehead. What do people in Greece call African Americans?
Oh, I don't know. I actually have no idea.
There's
I'm
no like
gonna ask
slangs,
my husband.
and it might be bad. It could be bad or good.
Yeah, I don't want to guess. I don't want to guess.
Dog's Nose, thanks for the super chat. Trigger, do you also do art? Cheers. I do. I've never done like a mural and stuff like that, but there are some businesses and many companies. I did websites and graphic design and stuff for a long time. So there are websites that I've built that are out in the internet, and there are also companies whose signs I did for their building and stuff like that. So I do have a lot of stuff out there like that. But as far as like art, like she does, where she's doing like the hand drawn studio art, I haven't done that in years. Everything I do is digital. Although I would love to be able to do that kind of stuff. It's just messy.
It is,
you know?
definitely messy and pricey.
Dreaming in Nashville. Member for 1 month. Thank you. Says, I'd love to see you both do a live with Nissy.
Yes, I love Nissy.
Does she do? I think her and Baron did something, but I haven't seen that she does.
Baron was on her channel, but it's not live. It was like pre-recorded thing. Okay. I think, from what I remember.
I haven't seen it yet. So.
Yeah, Nissy is great. Would be great to talk to her.
She also does documentaries, I think, doesn't she? I thought she was working on a documentary or something. Or no, that was who was the other one? Sabby. That was Sabby that does the documentary. Yeah. But yeah, Nissy's great. And not all people have time to do these type of like interview type things because you have to coordinate with someone else, and a lot of people are working a day job and stuff like that. So but yeah, it'd be awesome to talk to Nissy. I'd love to have her on the series, on the off-script series. Baby J, thanks for the super chat. Kasia, no fear. Her stalking #1 fan is here.
Oh, I know exactly who you are. Thank you. Thank you for all your comments. I always read them and I try to answer. I generally try to actually answer everybody. It's not possible sometimes, but I know exactly who you are. Thank you.
Dog's Nose with the question of the day. Are there furries in Cyprus and Nebraska?
I have not met any, and I have not seen any.
I'm learning horrible things about Nebraska, to be honest. As far as furries, I'm sure there are. But if you look into even like the Charlie Kirk case, there was the, what's the name of that aviation? Duncan Aviation or whatever that company is. A lot of illegal youth movement, we'll say, and things like that. A lot of it comes out of this area. And a lot of cult leaders that I've learned about recently also started and were born and raised in this area. We've had like a couple presidents and stuff that came out of here, but yeah, there's a lot of weird history that I'm learning about. I almost want to start like a series on like the dark side of Nebraska or something similar.
Wow, interesting.
Lisa, thanks for the super chat. Labels separate us. This is exactly why they came up with them. Who is they? Chocolate. Is that the right use of chocolate? Probably not.
No, that's not the right use of chocolate. But we know who they are.
Okay. So when do you use chocolate?
Well, chocolate theory. I will explain it once again for those that don't know. One day I came home and my son had Nutella all over his chocolate, all over his face. God. It's 4 a.m. for me, okay? You need to forgive me. So I asked him, I'm like, what is that on your face? He's like, I didn't eat Nutella. So it became in my family, like the chocolate theory is when you're trying to seem very innocent, and in that pursuit of innocence, you accidentally reveal something you shouldn't have. And that happened a lot with Erika Kirk, and that's why we have chocolate theory on my channel going on.
Yeah, it's interesting. I see it a lot, to be honest. Kelly Raybon, thanks for becoming a channel member. You don't have to become a member. But I appreciate that. Lisa P again. Thanks for the super chat. The CK investigation has become has become some much bigger than his death. So much bigger, okay, than his death. Much is being exposed. Any comments on that?
Well, yeah, we see it. I think half of it is people who genuinely are interested and want to know the truth. And half of it is people that I think get addicted to the hype of it and just want that, flow of news about the case constantly. They get almost giddy at the new events related to it. So no, it's going to be. How long do you think it's going to go for? Like, I was trying to do an estimation. I wouldn't bet that 8 months later we would still be so intensely talking about it and people still would be so interested. But here we are.
And there's so many people that have said, including myself, unless something major comes out, I'm done covering this. And then 2 days later, something comes out and we're covering it.
Jesse on fire. He was like, oh man. he was struggling with that. I remember there was a moment where he thought like that was it. But no, we keep going.
Well, but now it's like it's stuck in a cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, like the Mike theory, the fake death theory, all that stuff came out initially, and I covered. I gave those people a chance to talk on my platform, and that information came out, and then like it kind of went. I won't say dormant, but it wasn't as like talked about for a while. At least not on YouTube. It was on X for sure, and then now it's coming back full circle. Like Jesse's talking about it again. Jordan Henshaw's been talking about, the squib theory and all that stuff with Kelly Raybon. There's a lot of people coming out too that are, I guess they really latched onto that electrocution idea and they're doing that. So, but a lot of stuff's being recycled. So people are going through old interviews and old tweets and starting to piece things together more. And this is something that Daisy and Barron have been doing really well too. They're like, oh, wait a second. Do you remember when they said this? That links up with this. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Going back to all the interviews, what the testimonies, the stuff they said days after, it's been eye-opening, I must say.
And there's a subscriber, her name is, I think it's So Fine. She got on me. She said that she enjoys the content and all that stuff, but she said I need color. Because my whole set is like tan and black, and I wear black and grays and stuff like that. So I got this light, So Fine. I got this light with color. Kasia has color. I have a blue shirt instead of a black one. So
I have a gray shirt.
Your advice. Cornelia Kelly, thanks for the euros. Yes, YouTube is not pushing other content to us because it's our fault. LOL. My whole algorithm is CK. I am digging my way out of it.
Same, girl. Same. This is all I see on my timelines. I am not digging my way out of it yet because, like I said, I'm still obsessed. This is all I want to know. I just want to.
Well,
but maybe one day.
Have you been following the court stuff at all and like the legal documents and everything?
I do, but I stay away a little bit from commenting on that because I am not definitely
in that area.
I feel not equipped, to comment too much. Obviously, when there is like a major revelation, I will speak about it and I will have an opinion, and I have an opinion about it. But analyzing, court stuff, not my strong suit, and I don't want to mislead someone because I said something that wasn't true or was misleading or I used wrong language. For now, I'm not confident to talk about it. You've been doing a great job covering it with your guests, so I'm on your streams with that.
Well, and it's interesting too because a lot of people have talked about this. I think Bear's brought this up recently too, but like the AI slop. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who take a video or take information, throw it into AI, whatever AI spits out is gospel truth to them, and then they report on it. And a lot of times they read directly from it, and there's been so many issues. I've read some stuff as well. I try to I tell it to fix itself. I'm like, I tell it to fact check itself. And then I use 3 different AIs and compare them to each other and basically have them battle it out to find as much information and truth as it can. And then even then I still say this is what it found. I can't 100% verify this. But there's people whose entire channels are 100% built on just AI. And I see it in different genres. You know, it's not just like the Charlie Kirk stuff, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, well, I had, 5 days ago, my ChatGPT claimed that Charlie Kirk is alive. The assassination never happened.
Really?
It still happens. Yes.
Interesting. Well, and I don't know how many people have actually tested this out, but I'd ask it a question and then I'd open a brand new chat, ask it the same question, and get 2 different answers in 2 different chats.
It happened. Yes, I tested that.
Yeah.
No, we can't trust it. For example, what I do, I let it collect my own thoughts and put it in a nice, because it's quick, nice little written document or stuff like that. It's my thoughts that I feed it. I tend to not use information that it gives me. I'm trying to find that information from other sources first.
Someone's asking if you know DD Cypress One Click.
Wait,
You know
what?
that is? Is that a YouTuber?
DD Cypress what?
Like a DD Cypress One Click. I see the channel, 105,000 subscribers. What do they cover? Tourism.
I think someone mentioned it to me recently. No, I didn't. I didn't get to check them out. Sorry.
Oh, it's 24/7 live streams. Yeah. Interesting. It's a small world. Webster, thanks for becoming a channel member. Baby J, thanks for the super. Kasia #1 fan, ready to mod girl. Okay, that's another thing. So Kasia is going to need mods. And typically mods are chosen by their trustworthiness and that kind of stuff. Oftentimes it's people who comment regularly, who are consistently nice and helpful and stuff like that. But if you are interested in modding, how can people get a hold of you?
Just email me, dailyfreddo@gmail.com.
dailyfreddo@gmail.com if you would like to mod. And any of my mods, like you can mod on multiple channels. But if she and I go live at the same time and you're modding for her, we're through. We're done. No, I'm just kidding. Michelle Bell, member for 3 months. Thank you for that. Kasia and Matt, great live. Happy to be here. Christ is King. Jackson White, thanks for the super. It wasn't a setup for a joke. Haha. I'm literally asking, what do people in your country call black people in your country? I assume it's not African Americans.
Oh yeah, well they just call them black, no?
Blackies?
No, it's a normal word for the color.
Are they actually black though?
Wait, let me 1 second. Let me check.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, because I am curious now as well if there is a word that I don't know.
There probably is, like a Greek word for it. Why are you doing that?
Look it up.
Moon Goddess, thanks for the super chat. Hello, Matt and Kasia. I hate to break the news to you both, but you both are stuck with us fans forever. No way you're getting rid of us because we love y'all. We appreciate that. And hopefully, Moon Goddess, I hope you're healing up. I saw in chat. You said
hope you're good.
Yeah. Said you were doing physical therapy and that kind of stuff. Keep fighting through all that. We're just glad to have you here. Did you find it?
I second that. No, wait. I wanted to focus on Moon Goddess. Wait. And I'm so scared to say because I don't know. No, it's just the color. And there is a word like for African American. It's literally what I thought. Afroamericanos. Yeah.
And that's the
Negros
Greek?
or Afroamericanos.
What about in Poland?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Been 20
I don't
years.
know. It's been 20 years. I forgot words. I can Google it again. Wait, now I'm curious. I need to know. Man, my Polish was
Let's
so
Google what they
bad.
call them in every country.
Yeah.
Just to go down the line.
Afro-Americanin. Okay. No, you know what happens? Because I know these words, like Afro-Americanin, I would know. But I'm like, is there like more special word? Like, is there anything else beyond that? Like a special word that I don't know? That's why I needed to check. No, but there is appropriate word.
Dog's Nose, thanks for the super chat. CK is JFK all over again. So decades, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm curious how many people think that our own government is responsible for all this. I know there's people.
Sorry, I just saw a comment of someone saying it in Polish for the African American in a funny way. That it's a word that I didn't see for a very long time, and apparently now it's offensive, so I'm not going to say it. But it was funny to see. There is a name for a chocolate cake. Actually, it's the same.
But it's inappropriate.
Allegedly. Right now it's appropriate. Yeah.
Half of me is offended by that. Seaside, thanks for the super chat. They're saying, yes, go live. What time of day? So if people are in the US and you're obviously like it's 4 a.m. for you right now, it's 8 o'clock for me. So what time of day would you try and go live in the US time zone?
I think I'm gonna aim for like late Cyprus evening. So
some mornings, US mornings.
Yeah, late mornings, noon, I think. And I'm thinking on about Saturdays because that works best for me. But we'll see. It's gonna be a test run first.
Well, I think most people don't do Saturdays either, so
yeah,
it'd be a good spot to test out. It said, I'm in Florida. Usually you're on here in the AM, our time. Love the chocolate theory. It applies to my husband as well.
Applies to the husband. That's funny.
All right. I see there's some other questions. We've been through all the super chats and stuff, but it is 4 a.m. where she's at. And she has been a champ and stayed up very late with us. So if you guys can put some hearts, some thumbs ups, show her some love down in chat. And I think what we'll do when she's doing this setup, she said she might have me on as her first guest. So she can put me on the spot too. But make sure if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys follow her. Let me put her information here. Kasia with Daily Freddo at Daily Freddo on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Are you on any other socials?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on X. Bit on TikTok. Not so much. But yeah, if you want to chat with me, let's meet on X. If you want to see some extra content, that's for Instagram.
And if they want to email you for like modding and stuff like that, it's dailyfreddo@gmail.com.
Yep.
All right, perfect. And we have Discerning Veracity. Member for 2 months. Great collaboration. Thank you for that. Everyone's saying, I don't know if you can see all these. I assume you can. But all the hearts and love. Kasia, you're amazing.
That's
love you,
so
Kasia.
Cute. Thank you.
So I definitely appreciate you being here. We got through this one without it getting shut down by YouTube. So I call that a win.
Progress.
But yeah, I mean, we appreciate you. I appreciate you jumping into this series with me. It's very different than what people are used to. A lot of people don't have, person to person talks about their personal lives and stuff like that. So thanks for doing that with me. And for all the audience, we appreciate you guys being here. We'll keep doing these. We'll keep putting it out, keep an eye out for her lives. And we'll see you all in the next one.
Thank you.